Real quick, I just want to mention that I have a Twitch channel I stream on, and if any of you guys are looking for some extra content, I will leave the link down to that in the description. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Boys, I'm going to just start off this video by asking you guys a question. What do y'all think was the most used Titan exotic last weekend in Trials? Now, if you were thinking it was Dune Marchers, unfortunately, you're not right. It was Titan's Ramparts. Yes, we have finally gotten to the point where Titan's Ramparts are overtaking Dune Marchers. Now, I know some of you guys might be like, okay, well, Gravely, why is that? Like, why is that significant? Why does that matter? Well, basically, the top exotics for the longest time have usually been Stompies, Ophidians, and then Dune Marchers, right? Or I guess, T-Steps were there a long time ago as well. They were up there as well, right? But now, we literally have Titan's Ramparts, an exotic that slows the game down a ton at the very top of the list. And if you're anything like me and you play even a little bit of Trials, which by the way, the gameplay in the background is literally just like a 4-1 Trials comeback. I thought it was pretty good. That's why I threw it in the background of this video, but I just thought I'd let you guys know. Anyways though, if you play any Trials, you know how annoying and how oppressive Titans are. Like, you're literally playing the game, right? Let's say you're playing one Titans. It's honestly beatable. One Titans is beatable if you team shot and you have good coordination. If you are playing against two Titans and these guys are actually good players, obviously if they're bad players using Titans, it's still going to be tough, but it's not going to be as bad as like really good players using Titans. And you know how hard it is to beat that. It's almost unbeatable unless you are using it yourself. And don't even get me started if both of those Titans players are using DMT, because good God, the match is literally going to take 20 minutes. It is going to be that slow. And that's part of the reason I think Titans passing Dune Marchers is just horrible for the game. If we keep slowing down the game over and over and over again and Bungie does nothing about it, Destiny 2 is going to rapidly lose players, Trials is going to die, which, I mean, it already is kind of dying because nobody wants to play that, you know what I mean? Especially if you're not a really good player. Like, just imagine you're like a 0.8 going into Trials, just trying to get a couple wins, maybe get your flawless and like the non-flawless pool or whatever. You're just trying to, have fun, have a good time. That is not happening anymore. You are not able to actually enjoy yourself on this game unless you are literally using hard meta. And even then, most of the people using hard meta, they're not using it because they enjoy it. They're using it because you have to use it to win. And I know some people are like, well, that's always how it is. Meta, you have to use it. That's not necessarily true, because in the past, you've been able to use off-meta things and do just fine. You've been able to build craft and whatnot. Now build crafting is literally just throw on one exotic and give yourself high discipline, high strength, whatever that exotic is, and just kind of go crazy with it. And contrary to what some people might think, Titans isn't the worst offender. Well, maybe it is, but there are other offenders that are just as bad, like what are those hunter gauntlets called? They just slipped my mind. The Amukamara grasps or whatever, the ones that give you the trip mines, them things is annoying. Those are really, really annoying. Also, the Osmiomancy gloves, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but there are a lot of exotics in this game right now that are just slowing down the pace of the game, and they're just really oppressive, and Bungie does nothing about them, yet somehow we're getting nerfs to things like Stompies. You can't jump in the air, you can't slide anymore without getting flinched to Afghanistan. Like, I don't get it. Bungie just wants to slow this game down and make it literally unplayable. I should also mention that obviously Trials is not the only game mode that's struggling right now. If you look at pretty much any game mode that has skill-based matchmaking in this game, they're all really, really bad right now. Quick play is damn near unplayable. Every game feels like it's a $1 million Mr. Beast tournament. People just care way too much. Like, they're not trying to have a good time. They're literally abusing hard meta in a quick play match. It's just like, god damn, who is paying you to play like that? But I don't get it, right? And then you look at like Iron Banner, which is gonna come out, actually, I think it just came out at the time we're recording this video. It is 11:10 a.m. Reset happens at 11 for me. So Iron Banner literally just dropped. I bet Iron Banner is going to be significantly worse this time because Bungie decided to add skill-based matchmaking, which literally nobody asked for. I do find it pretty funny that the only PvP modes people actually enjoy are the ones without skill-based matchmaking, yet Bungie just, they can't take the hint that the only shit people are playing right now is whatever's in the weekly rotator. And that kind of sucks because if there's something like Team Scorch in the weekly rotator, or, Momentum Control, it's a great mode, don't get me wrong, but sometimes people just want to play the game normally, and if you don't have something like Zone Control or Rumble, whatever it is in the rotator, You literally don't have the option of just playing this game normally. Otherwise, you have to, like I said, you have to go play in a $1 million tournament in quick play where people just care way too much. Or, you know, trials, obviously, certain weekends, you know, it's there. Sometimes it's not because Iron Banner and whatnot. Or you have to play that. You really just don't have many options. Now, I know I've done a lot of reasonable complaining up to this point of the video, but it's time I actually provide some solutions because I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. This would be a terrible video if I literally just said, Sighton's broken, skill-based matchmaking sucks, and then I provided literally no solution because honestly, if I did that, it's literally just part of the problem if I'm being completely honest. So here's some solutions, Bungie. When it comes down to exotics like Sighton's Ramparts, Young Amukamara's Spine, Osmiomancy Gloves, and things like that, there needs to be a longer cooldown on whatever the exotic is providing. Like Sighton's Ramparts, there is no reason, there's no way in hell that the Sighton Barricade that you can literally shoot through and other people obviously can't, should be the same cooldown as a regular barricade. I get that it has less health and it lasts for slightly less time, but that's just nowhere near enough, especially when the exotic is being used this much. And I know some people are probably thinking, well, Gravely, Sighton's was never a problem in the past. Well, it is now because of the pace of the game and people just sitting back with pulse rifles. Obviously, in a faster paced meta, Sighton's wasn't as big of an issue and it didn't need a nerf. Now it does, so I'm hoping Bungie actually does something about it. And as for exotics like Young Amukamara Spine, they just need to be less spammable across the board. You shouldn't be getting damn near your entire trip mine back just for hitting somebody with your trip mine. I don't know why an exotic needs to reward you for using what it's supposed to do. It really just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like imagine on Sighton's, if you put down your barricade, right? And then you got a kill through it and it like gave you your entire barricade back. Like how does that make any sense? You know what I mean? Like you just got rewarded for using the exotic. So that definitely needs to be nerfed. Either you need to get less trip mine energy or you just shouldn't get any at all. I don't know what Bungie wants to do with that, but Ahamkara's definitely does need a nerf. And last but not least, boys, you guys already know skill-based matchmaking has got to be removed from this game. They need to bring connection-based matchmaking back because skill-based matchmaking is just a disaster. The servers right now are worse than they've ever been. I feel like that's partially amplified by skill-based matchmaking. And it just makes every match feel like a tournament and nobody wants to play that. Like just imagine, you know, somebody who works a 9 to 5, they get home, they hop on the game and they have to sweat their balls off just trying to use whatever exotic it is, whatever weapon it is, just trying to have fun. That's not going to be enjoyable for them and they're quickly going to put PvP down. So like I said, skill-based matchmaking, it just needs to go. Now, I don't really have much else to say about PvP for this video. I probably will have more videos talking about it in the future, but like I said, we really just need changes to this game because we all love Destiny 2 and none of us want it to die, but in the current state, if it keeps going on like this, it's not going to be looking pretty. Anyways, I will let this last trials round play out so you guys can see what happens, but you know, I appreciate you guys coming out and I appreciate y'all watching the video. Anyways, it's been Gravely. Peace.
And just sit behind the wall. Yep. Last one's underneath.
That the sniper or the fucking super guy was dead too.
Just cap the point. Hunter's dead.
Dead.
He's not dead.
Dog shit! Trash ass player, bro. Get the fuck out of my lobby.
I'm not gonna lie.
Fucking dog shit. Fucking dog shit.
As soon as that melee killed me.